Welcome to the flank attack on Rich Mountain, which happened on July the 11th of 1861. Major General George B. McClellan assumed command of Union forces in Western Virginia in June 1861. On June 27th, he moved his divisions from Clarksburg south against Lieutenant Colonel John Pigram's Confederates, reaching the vicinity of Rich Mountain on July 9th. Meanwhile, Brigadier General Thomas A. Morris' Union Brigade marched from Philippi to confront Brigadier General Robert S. Garnett's command at Laurel Hill. On July 10th and 11th, Brigadier General William S. Rosecrans led a reinforced brigade by a mountain path to seize the Townsend-Parkersburg Turnpike in Pegram's rear. A sharp 2-hour fight ensued in which the Confederates were split in two. Half escaped to Beverly and on over the Shawnee Tree, but Pegram and the others, including the Sidney Boys, a regiment formed from the students of Hamden-Sydney College, surrendered on July 13. Hearing of Pegram's defeat, Garnett abandoned Laurel Hill. The Federals pursued, and during fighting at Currick's Ford on July 13, Garnett was killed. He was the first general officer to be killed in the war. On July 22, McClellan was ordered to Washington, and Rosecrans assumed command of the Union forces in Western Virginia. The Union victory at Rich Mountain was instrumental in propelling McClellan to command of the Army of the Potomac. So, in this Throwback Thursday, we're going to go playing Crusade with the American Civil War supplement. Crusader was a generic 1740 to 1900 rule set, and I played against Patrick. I took command of the Union and he had the Confederates. So I went to search for a setting and scenario that would allow for not too many issues, yet for example give us a chance for working out things like morale and such, and came up with this scenario as part of the attack. The Union, who had historically doubled the forces we used, would have to break through the small Confederate force in order to support the main attack. The Confederates just had to hold the wall for 6 turns. We used a small table of only 24 by 48 inches, as it was focused on the frontal assault on a defended linear obstacle, and with green troops, more chance of morale failures, with Enfield rifled muskets. The purpose of the game was to get a hang of the movement, trade a few pot shots in turns 3 and 4, and launch an ACW specific rules charge of a wave attack in turn 5. This would give us a first feel of all different aspects in the game and allow for some fine-tuning in the future. One important house rule we agreed on before embarking on the whole project in historical gaming in our group was that banners didn't need to be correct. So a unit of Zouaves needed to be represented by a unit of Zouaves. No proxying, we can always twiddle at that in the scenarios if we like this or that unit, but no issues on banners. Most manufacturers have mainly the Army of the Potomac and the Army of Northern Virginia in their ranges, due to them being the two most famous forces, but there were many battles fought after all. So for the forces, we have all troops are green, all troops are equipped with 1853 Enfield muskets, so the Union had the Rosecrans with a +1/1 modifier, the 3rd Ohio Regiment of 5 stands, and the 14th Indiana Regiment also of 5 stands. The Confederate force of Pegram, +1/0, had the 20th Virginia Regiment of 6 stands. So let's go on to the battle. The 20th Virginia had entrenched itself behind a small stone wall on the path through the forest, resulting in the Union force advancing steadily in line towards them. Near the forest edge, some pot shots were traded, but the untrained troops on both sides failed to make any impact on the opponent. The Union lined up for a wave attack, with the 14th Indiana going in first, closely followed by the 3rd Ohio, led by Rosecrans himself. The defensive fire resulted in the 14th Indiana reaching the wall already unsteady, and in the resulting melee they were promptly routed and ran away, losing more men when they failed to rally. In the meantime, the 3rd Ohio was now battling it out with the 20th Virginia, and the Southerners got a pummeling, becoming unsteady themselves. The 3rd, however, could not press on its advantage as the time had passed and the main army was about to launch its attack, having to do without the flank support Rosecrans had to provide. So the first Confederate success was a fact. So yeah, it was a small battle, of course, but in hindsight we agreed that it's a good rule set, suitable for our gaming group who sometimes likes motivation to learn whole tomes of rules, let alone read them, so without being too simplified a rule set. Now it's time for the next step and start drawing up Orbats and painting regiments for the first 2 versus 2 battle with those rules, with which the command optional rule of messengers or base contact will be used. The goal is around January 2011-2012 with the Battle of Baton Rouge. Now I can say in hindsight it never materialized, but yeah, this was a fun game after all. Well, that was about it for a small American Civil War experience that our group did, but hope you liked the little clip, so like, subscribe, you know the drill. If you Enjoy these Throwback Thursdays. Let me know in the comments, and see you again, or better, listen to me again next time. Bye bye.